I do. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, well that's beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're up and running. I'm on Zoom. I just need to invite you for the rest of the attack. Sorry, let me tell you the date here on this.
Stella, I think opening it. Would you be okay with my demo? Jackson.
Wrong. Forwarding. All right. So, yeah, if you can give me the list, I didn't know it. See, I just needed you to stand here. Exactly right. Thanks. Now, yeah, log on to.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Frank.
The vehicle is ideal.
John, is that shared on, can you see it on Zoom? My screen? Okay. They're not shared. Okay. I'll worth it to have my matching bucket. Oh, you did not find another one? They're not over there?
Yeah, I did. Well, I looked in all of the process there.
Yeah, this one was out when I got in here and I beat him in here. So
Track at some place you know. I'm sure that wasn't his intention.
yeah. I am still peanut buttery. Good. So proud though, I got that set up all by myself. Oh, I mean, they're too long to like do my usual way, so that's unheard of. Hi. There you go. While you're still here.
Like no one ever said it like.
Hello, OCI. Okay, let me get the screen share all set up here. Make sure wow, there's 20 folks joining us on Zoom, which is awesome. Let's see. Okay, can you see it now on Zoom, John?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Nope, it says it's paused. Hold please, hold please. I was gonna say, how is everybody? Yeah? It's been kind of a wild couple weeks. Given the resounding lack of an answer, is everyone doing okay? Everyone centered in their body for tonight? We can get through this together. I've got some good news to share, which is exciting. And you know, there was a lot of news in this past week, but we're going to give you some ways to take action. We've got a ton to get through, and if I could get this to share properly, that would be helpful. Okay, we're going to stop sharing and try again. Who's here for the first time tonight? Anybody? Awesome. Let's give them a very warm welcome. We're really excited. I see some folks online are joining us for the first time. Lamb, if there is a different microphone, this is not my favorite microphone. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. If you're just here for the first time, my name is Celeste. I'm the chair of Orchard City Indivisible. We've been doing this for going on 10 years now, which is a good thing and a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. But we are continuing to do what we've always done, which is to focus on stopping any agenda built on racism, authoritarianism, and corruption. Depending on the year or the day, we are focused on elections, education, and emergencies. Right now, we're going to be talking a lot about upcoming elections, while of course making sure our communities are safe. Is there another one? Okay, as I said, okay. Well then, you'll have to bear with me. This is the microphone we get tonight. Oh, if you are planning to come up and speak, I'm going to tell you all ahead of time. The camera that's allowing our friends on Zoom to see us is right here. So I'm going to ask you to stand right here, and I'm going to ask you to speak into the microphone. You have to hold it really close to your mouth so everyone can hear you. All right. In the very unlikely event that there's a disruption tonight, I want you to know that there are 3 exits. The door most of you came in through, there's one back here, and there's another one out this way. That's also the way to the bathroom. If there's any sort of emergency at all, I will be sure to give you instructions. Mara and only Mara will call 911 and I'll tell you what to do. In the meantime, have fun. Mara is showing us her flight attendant skills in the back. Make sure you get something to eat. If you didn't bring anything, you still get to eat and you can take stuff home too. All right. Do I have friends here from Working Partnerships yet? We haven't seen them yet? Okay, I'm going to come back to this. We have folks joining us from Working Partnerships. So they're going to give us a little update. As soon as they get here, I'm going to let them give the update and then we'll resume where we're at in our meeting. Okay. First of all, who attended a No Kings rally? Awesome. Was that anybody's first rally? Awesome. I'm going to share this. This is from Big Indivisible. Whoops.
Is there a fire in your eyes? We can melt that out. We stand and fight. We stand and fight. We're gonna be alright. We're gonna be alright. Set a fire in your heart. Set a fire in your heart. You can do your thing. You can do your thing. Be a shot in the dark. Be a shot in the dark. To that little spark. To that. When faith is hard to find. Faith is hard to find. Hope is on the decline. Hope is on the decline. Break it's time. Break it's time. Keep that steel in your spine. Keep that steel in your spine. When faith is hard to find. Faith is hard. And hope is on the decline. Break it's time. Break it's time. Keep that steel in your spine. Keep that steel. Stir fire in your mind. Stir fire in your mind. Get on the front line. Get up. So thinking that, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Stir fire in your feet. Stir fire. It's all. It's all. Now no retreat. Now no retreat. It's all. It's all. It's on the decline. It's not, it's not even still. It's not still. When it is hard to find, it's on the decline. It's on the decline. It's not. Keep that steel. Keep that steel in your spine.
All right. So if you participated in that a couple Sundays ago, you participated in the largest mass mobilization of this kind in United States history, which is huge. Over 8 million people turned out. This was the third of the No Kings rallies. It was the biggest one by far. People ask a lot of times, what are these things worth? Because there's lots of other ways we can be mobilizing and affecting change. I feel like one of the big things, aside from recruiting new folks to the fight with us, is keeping morale up. So I hope you felt uplifted by the march or the rally that you were at. This is exhausting. A lot of us have been doing this work for a long time. A lot of us are new to the work and it's overwhelming. And I think these moments where we get to come together in community and remember that there's actually more of us than there are of them, I think it's really important that we do that. So we've got some other actions coming up. But I think a day where we come together like this and turn out in communities where maybe no one has turned out before, I think these are really important too. So thank you if you're able to show up. We have a link tree. You'll see the QR code in a couple places. This is where all the actions from tonight are going to be, all the events that are coming up. You don't have to take a photo of every slide that I show tonight. They will be shared online later and you can always access them on the link tree. I'm trying to get over my personal exhaustion a little bit and be better about updating daily. So I will do better on that. Coming up in April, on the 27th, we have a South Bay Swing Left meeting. South Bay Swing Left is our sister organization. We have about 75% overlapping membership with a slightly different focus on what we do. You'll hear from them a little bit later, but they will be up here at the front of the room and we will be supporting in the back. So if you like this meeting, or if you don't like this meeting, you might like the meeting that's in 2 weeks. So we encourage you to come back. Our next big action coming up on a national level is May Day. We're going to talk about that. And just a little bit of a look ahead, on May 11th, we will be hosting one of our favorite events of election years, the OCI Candidate Open House, where we're going to have typically dozens of candidates who are running for different offices in the room, tabling, talking to you, so you can find out what campaigns you want to support, who you want to door knock for. All right. Some sad news to share. Armin, a longtime member of Swing Left and an old member of Indivisible, passed away a couple of weeks ago, but I did want to share what his wife shared, that they are having a celebration of life coming up on May 2nd, that is open to everybody. So if you think this is something you might want to attend or send a card with one of our members, I know that would mean a lot to his family. Okay, so I'm going to go through our action items from Big Indivisible. Typically, the leaders of Indivisible have a 1 hour discussion on Thursdays. This week it has been moved to tomorrow, so I wanted to flag that for you. This is a great way to connect with other leaders from the movement around the country. If you need a little uplifting and to know that there's a purpose behind the actions that the founders are asking us to take, this is a great way to participate. If you can't get there at noon tomorrow, I know that's a little bit difficult. It will be recorded and up on YouTube. Also coming up, there's a National Day of Action coming up next month to stop ICE warehouse detention centers from springing up around the country. Indivisible has worked in coordination with Move On, the Detention Watch Network, the Worker Circle, and Public Citizen to come up with a method of getting these stopped before they even get started. So far, they have halted the plans to build 12 detention centers around the country by just getting, yeah, that's incredible. By just getting people to show up and turn out and say, no, we're not going to accept this in our neighborhood, in our communities. So I did check, they have a really great map right now that they're tracking everywhere in the country where they're trying to build facilities. Right now, there are 0 in California. So if you're interested in this type of organizing, there's certainly things we can do to support our friends in other communities and other states. I would say if you only do one thing this week, maybe don't pick this one because right now there's not an urgent need in our community to shut this down. I know there was some talk about Morgan Hill. There is already a facility down in South County. But as of now, we haven't heard of any new plans for new facilities. And of course, I'll keep you posted. But if someone can watch this and wants to report back, that would be amazing. Okay, let me try and hide this. Nope, it will not go away. Okay, how many of you know what May Day is? How many of you are going to be out there supporting workers? Okay, this is the next big nationwide call to action. So this is our next No Kings. It's being organized by all of the same folks and more. And this is something we've been talking about for a long time, a general strike. I do have the general strike commitment form on the OCI link tree. So if you have not committed to a general strike yet, I encourage you to go and find out more what it's about. This is kind of a test balloon. And there are May Day Strong events happening all over the country. So this is another proactive, nonviolent way to show our protest by withholding our money and our labor. Who's in a position to not shop for one day? It's important to acknowledge that not everybody is going to be in a position to take all of these actions. But if you can commit by going to the May Day Strong website to taking one action, that's huge. If you can take 2 or all of the actions, that's amazing. But we don't expect anyone to necessarily be able to take your kids out of school and not go to work and not spend. But if you can do one of those things, that's amazing. So I would ask that you go to the May Day Strong website and participate our economic power by disrupting the flow of money in the United States. So get your gas the day before if you must. It'll take a little bit of planning, but we can do it. At my office, so I work for the government. We don't want to leave our constituents we don't want them to be punished for our collective action that we take. So we take turns on days like this where one of us will be in the office to make sure we're still helping folks, but 2 of us are not working and we're taking those hours as vacation time. So you can get creative with some of this stuff. You're gonna hear more about this from Swing Left a little later in the meeting, but we do have a May Day action. We have a wonderful coalition that organizes every year in San Jose, the San Jose May Day Coalition. They do something every International Workers' Day, but they're doing something big this year. So it begins with a rally at 2:00 and then a march that goes to City Hall. And then you'll hear a little bit later about the tabling that's happening. We are one of the partners for this event that's happening. This is going to be big. So this is, if you can turn on Friday, and I believe it goes all the way until 7. So if you do need to be at work, you can show up after work too. Okay, the second call to action from Big Indivisible this week. How many of you have made a call or used Resist Bot or 5 calls or some way reached out to your members of Congress or the Senate in the last couple weeks? Okay, I'm tired of making calls. I get it. I'm tired of receiving calls. I get it. One thing that I've noticed though is we're not getting a lot of calls right now from people on the other side of the aisle, which is kind of a cool thing. They're kind of slowing down, which means we can be doing twice as much, okay, for those phone calls that we're making to our elected officials. You need to be making the calls. I know that it feels repetitive. I know that we know that our senators are, for the most part, really doing the right thing here in California, but I cannot tell you what a big deal it is to be able to go to my boss and say, I received 1,000 phone calls today. It didn't allow any of my staff to do their job because we were taking phone calls. You need to be really thoughtful about how you vote on this bill. Those calls matter when you're calling your own member. So one of your calls this week, and again, when you're calling your senators, you don't have to call 3 times on 3 topics. You call 1 time, leave a message, make sure you share your full name and your address so the comment can be recorded, and tell them to stop this bullshit war in Iran. It was only a week ago that the whole world was being held hostage by our madman president. That was just an insane, there's nothing to say about it. That was absolutely unhinged. The Senate needs to be using their powers to end this completely pointless war that got us right back where we started, except we're in an even worse position. So call them about that. We're also still calling. They're still trying to get more money for the big ugly bill for ICE and Border Patrol. It's so hard to even keep track of all of the shitty things that are going on that you may have forgotten already about what was going on with TSA at the airports just a couple weeks ago, but we need to remind them we don't want one more dollar spent on warehousing human beings in our communities. This is a new call to action from Indivisible this week. Section 702 of FISA a post 9/11 surveillance law is set to expire on April 19th. So this was originally passed for counterterrorism, and like many of those laws, it's now being used, or shit, it was probably originally being used in a terrible way too, but it's really being used in a terrible way now, given the types of technology we have, and it's allowing warrantless surveillance of Americans' communications. So we just found out from the FBI this weekend that end-to-end encryption when you're using Signal or when you're using any of the encrypted chat methods doesn't work. Yeah.
On your platform, the message is saved in the notification area.
They can look at the notifications. The end-to-end, yes, you're correct. It's more nuanced than that. That said, they're not using warrants necessarily, and they've said that they are driving through neighborhoods and all, of course, under the guise of trying to find folks who are undocumented. This law has enabled broad surveillance, and it doesn't have safeguards against targeting folks like us who are meeting to exercise our democratic freedom. So we're asking that you contact your member of Congress to let them know we don't want this to pass again unless there are some major changes made to it. Okay. The SAVE Act, this is something we've been talking about a lot, and there's been a lot of questions. So I have a little explainer on this. How many of you remember the SAVE Act, the voting, another terribly not actually named bill. This is eliminating online and mail-in registration and creating barriers for people to vote. So as with most of these horrible things, it's going to impact our most vulnerable communities the most. It won't improve election security, and it will disenfranchise millions and millions of voters. So we're asking that you contact your members of Congress and demand that they oppose this. I want to do a little primer on this because there have been some questions, and if there are more questions, I'm happy to see if I can find answers. This is the most recent update from ACLU. So this is a bill that would force everyone to present either a passport, a birth certificate, or a naturalization certificate in order to register to vote or update your voter registration. So 21 million people in the US don't have easy access to this type of documents. How many of you could immediately know where your birth certificate is and bring it to the registrar? That's good. My children who are all of voting age, could not. This is also, we've talked about this. The impacts of this would be felt hardest by those people who can't easily provide those documents because of logistical and financial hurdles. So people of color, people with low income, people who don't have passports, naturalized citizens, people with disabilities who can't go to the polls and vote in person, rural voters, older voters, young voters, and of course, trans voters. So they're asking that, looking at requiring that your last name and match the last name that's on your birth certificate. So mine doesn't. I'm married and took my husband's last name. So I would need to figure out a way around that. It also would force states to hand over sensitive data to the federal government and require that states conduct faulty voter list maintenance that could cause countless eligible voters to be wrongfully removed from voter rolls. So we know that already happened in the elections over the last 10 years, that voter rolls were purged. How many of you have been following what's going on in Kansas? Nothing good. This is actually referring to something that happened. Show me your papers blocked 30,000 eligible US citizens, and then they took the driver's licenses of trans individuals. Next day, your license is invalidated. Yeah. So this is one we really need to keep an eye on, and I urge you to please make a phone call. The second thing I would urge you to do is check your own voter registration. How many of you have checked it recently? So ballots are going to be sent out pretty soon for the June election. I highly recommend that you go to the Secretary of State website and check your voter registration and make sure you are registered to vote at the correct address, that your party preference is up to date. You can vote same day in California. So if you're not registered, there's still workarounds right up to election day, but I highly recommend that you check as we come up to every election. All right, I'm going to take a 5-minute little, I know this week was a lot. So I do want to take a few minutes to talk about, to do a little get to know your group. I thought this was interesting, and I realize it's a little difficult to read. This is talking about the ladder of engagement. We've talked a lot about, in years past, get in where you fit in, do what you feel most comfortable doing. If that means showing up to meetings and amplifying posts on Instagram, so be it. And then if you feel comfortable with it, knock on doors, phone bank. And we're kind of saying now, no, we need everybody at their highest level of engagement. So pushing yourself outside your comfort zone and getting involved in things that maybe in the last couple of years you wouldn't have been so comfortable with. Right now, that may be showing up at a meeting or a protest for the first time, but I want to take a little bit of time to do a quick get to know your group, and you all can do that in the chat also. As we talk about maybe what level you see yourself at with engaging right now and where you might be able to get within this next year. So if I can move this, whoops. Level 1 is doing things like sharing things on Facebook, joining Facebook groups, signing up for emails, sharing and liking posts. Level 2 is going to require a little bit more time, info and resources, but it's pretty unintimidating. So it's allowing you to attend meetings, contact your members of Congress, write postcards, which is something you can do tonight, look at news members, and shadow current members who are maybe doing a little bit more. Leveling up to level 3 takes more significant time, info, and resources, but not necessarily an ongoing commitment. So this might mean phone banking or canvassing, writing letters to the editor, donating, being a helper on one of our welcome teams, like helping check folks in at our meetings. Level 4, this is requiring strong ongoing commitment, time, info, and resources. So leading a working group or a breakout group, like we have several you're going to hear from a little later. Training volunteers, and supporting less convenient actions that might take a little bit of time. Finally, level 5 requires significant ongoing commitment and knowledge, and that's managing events, planning actions, and rallies. So I'd like you to take a few minutes, get to know somebody sitting next to you who maybe you didn't come with, talk about what your level of engagement is and how you might work to kind of get to that next level in the next year. So we're all not burning out, but maybe pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone. So I'll come back to you here, but go ahead and take a few minutes to chat, get to know somebody that maybe you don't know yet.
Hey Celeste, can we talk to each other? Or do we have to use chat?
I'm gonna reshare. Hey. So I try to post, if I don't get home too late, I try and put the slides on the Facebook page. And I'm gonna start sending them out in an email also. Okay. So, but there's the follow-up email. Yeah, that's good. That's good to know. So I do all of the social stuff, so it kind of depends on how busy my work week is. But like I said, my recommitment is to be better about getting things out within the next day or two. So yeah, but I'll make sure I send an email though that's also got it, because I know not everyone's on Facebook. Orchard City Indivisible is the Facebook page. Are you a member? I can't remember if you're on that. The Facebook page? Okay. Okay. If you want help with that tech aspect of it, I'm happy to help too. So, but I know it, you're on the mailing list, so you get my email. Okay. And let me do a better job of being sure. Yeah. Hi.
Maria Maldonado.
Oh, wonderful. Nice to meet you. Are you ready after we come back? Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
he's
Let me
not
get
yet
to your.
person coming, yeah.
He's not coming.
Okay.
Okay.
So how many minutes do we have?
If you can do it in about 10, that would be great.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna split the time with the two workers, so I can present first and then pass it to them. And
Okay.
should we leave the cards with you?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that'd be great. All right. I'm gonna call everyone back up here to the front. Um, Thank you for taking the time and thank you for the conversation that we had online also. I'm hoping that we get to break out and talk a little bit about the governor's race a little bit later too. So I know right now connecting on some of these topics is as important as anything else we're doing. But right now I am very pleased to call up to the front Maria Maldonado, who's going to give us an update on the fast food workers. I know we supported, if you were here last year, we supported this action. And so we're excited to get an update from Maria and some of the worker leaders who have been doing this good work. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. We are very excited to be here and thank you for having us. And I have I'm a field director for Fast Food Workers Union. And I wanted to share, I have a couple of workers here that they work in fast food industry for many years. And I just wanted to share that fast food workers pretty much are people of color, women, and many of them don't know about their rights. And that is the reason that we are here. We are trying to pass legislation in Santa Clara County. But you know that the county has so many priorities, especially the budget. But in this specific time, workers have been facing more than ever so much retaliation. And when they try to raise their voice, go on a strike, file a complaint with our help, they face threats. Like, do you know that you don't have papers? Do you know that you can get deported? So shame on them, really. They have no shame, honestly. There is a worker that says that she wanted to get paid for sick leave in a subway. When she asked the owner told her, I have a friend that has another business. When the workers wanted to take sick leave, she collides. Imagine how a worker feel in this situation. So of course they're gonna be very scared, right? So, but still they go on a strike, they keep participating, they keep raising their voice. We have been doing delegations, asking them to put a sign that ICE is not allowed in the back. But we have been doing those delegations and most of the places, they don't wanna do it. They don't want to train the workers about their rights, especially in this momentum. They should be at least to show some compassion for the workers, but they don't care, not even in this time, right? So that's why we are here today. We want to share with you some cards because we want that the supervisors accept this ordinance that we are trying to pass, that the workers learn about the rights, not only labor rights, but also about, even though if you are an immigrant, you still have rights in this country, right? Especially in California, right? Okay, so I'm gonna pass it to, at the end, we're gonna leave those cards here, but I'm gonna pass it to Ramona and then Teresa to share a little bit.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Ramona. Trabajo en el área de comida desde hace más de 20 años, en la cual en el área de comida rápida siempre ha habido muchas injusticias.
I've been working in the fast food industry for 20 years and I have been experiencing so many injustices.
Y yo, como madre de familia, muchas veces tengo miedo, a pesar de que yo ya conozco mis derechos, de alzar la voz, de decir, porque hay muchas represalias con nosotros.
Even though I know about my rights and as a mother, I know that I have to raise my voice, but I'm still scared because I know that I'm gonna face retaliation.
Ya que yo, pues, soy el sostén de mi familia. Y es por eso que ahora que estoy con todos ustedes, hace 3 años en mi área de trabajo hacía bastante calor, la cual a nosotros no nos dejaban ir a tomar agua. Y yo, pues, me sentí muy mal y alcé la voz.
I was working in the kitchen and the air conditioner was broken and it was really hot and I have to complain. And even though I was scared, I have to say something about it, go on a strike and complain about the conditions that we are facing when it's so hot in the area.
Y al alzar la voz me di cuenta que tengo derechos. Como ser humano, todos tenemos derechos y queremos ser capacitados.
As a human being, we have rights. That's what I was able to complain and then they fixed the air conditioner.
Y es por eso que hoy vengo a pedirles también su apoyo para que nos den más capacitación como trabajadores, conozcamos todos los empleados nuestros derechos.
That's why I'm here today to ask you for your support because we need to pass this legislation so everyone can learn about the rights at the same time I've been learning.
Y pues estoy muy contenta porque veo que vamos a tener una buena respuesta con todos ustedes y vamos a estar pues muy bendecidos y vamos a tener ese apoyo. Gracias.
I'm very happy because seeing you, I know that we're gonna have a positive victory because I see that you guys are supporting us and we're gonna win. Thank you.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Teresa Joaquín. Llevo más de 16 años trabajando en la comida rápida y los patrones no nos enseñan nuestros derechos. Sabemos que aquí en California tenemos muchos derechos y no nos dan a conocer. Yo me di cuenta por medio de la unión que teníamos derechos, apoyo. Y cuando empecé a decirles a mis patrones, empezaron a agarrar represalias contra mí al momento de que me hostigaban y tenían muchas represalias, me quitaban horas a los trabajadores. En el momento que llegaron a correrme a mí, a despedirme después de 16 años, tener como hostigamiento para que yo me fuera sola. Y me hostigaban. Yo no decidí de irme y llegaron el momento nada más de decir, ya no tenemos trabajo para ti, tus expectativas no cumplen con las reglas de aquí, así que estás despedida. Necesitamos el apoyo de ustedes para que nos apoyen a conocer los derechos y por favor apoyar en las capacitaciones de nuestros derechos de Santa Clara. Gracias.
My name is Teresa. I've been working also in McDonald's for 16 years and I was learning my rights with the union and I was raising my voice, supporting my coworkers. But the truth is that we face retaliation. When we start fighting for our rights, our employers don't like it. They start cutting our hours. They start harassing you so you to quit. If you don't quit, like in my case, I have to, they fire me. So this is unfair, but we're gonna keep fighting. That's why we are here today, and we need your support because we need that workers learn about the rights and don't be silent. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for your time, and we're gonna leave those cards. Those are, if you can write your name in the district, we're gonna send it to the supervisors so they don't forget that workers are waiting to pass this ordinance to have trainings for all the fast food workers that are more than 26,000 in Santa Clara County. Thank you.
All right, so this is amazing. They have 3 filled out postcards. Okay, can everyone in the room commit to filling one out? Okay, can I get a volunteer to hand them out or pass them up the rows? Thank you, Maria, and to the wonderful workers who spoke tonight. Let's give them another round of applause. So we've already made progress on this in our county, but as you can hear, there's a lot left to do. So if you can fill out that postcard tonight, yeah. Oh, the postcards are being passed out already, yeah. So if you need a pen, we have a giant box of pens and we will help you. Okay, so this was the referral, a unanimous approval by the county board for the administration and staff to study creating a training program for fast food workers to inform them of their rights. So that's currently being developed. It may have to go back to a vote though, so that's why we're asking folks to write this postcard to the Board of Supervisors, especially because right now we're in a budget crisis, as you know, at every level of government. So we need to keep this front and center though to protect our fast food workers in our county. All righty, I'm gonna go back to where we were. I'm very quickly going to go through this next set of slides. So Indivisible California State Strong has been working really hard on with the work groups on identifying bills that are coming before the California legislature that we want to support. I will go over this in more detail at another time, but the categories are democracy reform, racial and criminal justice reform, climate justice, healthcare and reproductive rights, and economic justice. If you are interested in getting involved at the state level, there are lots of ways to access it, including by working with one of these working groups. Mimi, who's here, I know over there, works with the climate justice group. Or if you're just interested in learning out more about how things work at the state level, I see some of my boss's bills made it onto this list this year. We will help you advocate for the things that you care about. I will come back to that again. Okay. There was a poll that a lot of folks participated in. There was another working group composed of indivisible members from throughout California that came together to strategize on what to do about this Democratic or this race for governor here in California. This went out a few weeks ago. The results came in one day before the news broke about Eric Swalwell. So I would say I know someone from our group and myself both reached out to the leadership asking if there's going to be another poll on this. The strategy that indivisible groups are asking folks to coalesce behind is asking folks who are polling low to drop out of the race, to create a clear path for at least one Democrat to advance in June. They're not asking indivisible groups to coalesce around a nominee for governor. They're just asking us as groups to decide at what level we want to start asking people to drop out. I know we've had this discussion. Swalwell's out. I was planning to have a little bit of a discussion about this tonight. We can come back to it possibly. Regardless of what your opinion is on what happened, how this all went down. He stepped out of the race yesterday. He stepped out of his seat today. I think that was the right thing. I think that was the right thing. I think this, as somebody who works in government, with a lot of young women, nobody was surprised by this. I think every woman certainly working in politics has had an uncomfortable encounter at some point in her career. I'm not surprised victims don't come forward. So I personally didn't find any of the timing on this to be suspicious. That said, he's out. We can have a deeper conversation about this later. That leaves the race looking a lot different than it did just a couple of weeks ago. Tom Steyer and Katie Porter are polling at the top now, far and away. And we have a lot of other qualified, good folks who are polling at under 5%. My inclination, and if we can just do a straw poll of people in the room and the people on Zoom, is to do what most other indivisible groups are doing, and that is to send a letter on behalf of our group to the people polling under 5% and ask them to kindly step aside. Okay. I'll admit it sucks. Because a lot of the people who are the most qualified are the ones that are polling under 5%. So I don't want to try and say that necessarily the two best candidates are at the top, but this is the situation that we're in, and we know a Republican to Republican election would be our worst nightmare. That said, we have a supermajority. I know that the legislature could handle it, but we do not want to find ourselves in the situation where we're fighting our own governor at every turn. So the leadership team will begin working on letters that we'll send. It's up to us to decide what that threshold looks like, but to me, the 5% level makes sense. That seems like a really clear place that they're not going to be able to get there before June. They're just simply not going to be able to get enough traction. So I'll continue the conversation. You'll get an email from me as we continue to work on this. But it sounds like most of us are on the same page. Again, some voter information that I want you to take a look at. We're going to be registering folks to vote. Please check your own registration by going to the SOS website. I checked mine last night. I will be checking for my husband and all my adult children. And with that, we're going to move on to member announcements. And I'm going to ask that we go through them fairly quickly because we have a lot. So much has happened. If you know that you sent me slides, please queue up on the side of the room. You're going to come up to the front here and talk. Remember to look into the camera, speak directly into the microphone. You're going to stand right up here. If you want to make a comment, this is the time. If you want to send me slides ahead of time, they're due by 3 p.m. on Sunday. Anyone can speak during this portion of the meeting for 2 minutes, but I would love it if we could keep yourselves to 1 minute if it's just a quick announcement. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Swing Left. Gail, let's give Gail a warm round of applause.
Everybody, can you all hear me? Okay. Let's see, next slide, please. Okay, we have a brand new letter writing campaign, and it's to first-time voters, which is kind of exciting. And these are first-time voters in Ohio, and most of them will be young people. So we know how much we need to get out the vote for the youth. So what this is, it is a one-pager, and it will have specific instructions what they need to do to vote, when they need to vote by. They have the QR codes if they have any questions, et cetera, et cetera. And all you need to do is there's a little box in there where you write your impassioned reason why you vote every election. And in the packets, there will be suggested little lines and a little help deciding what you want to write. And then you fold it up, address it to the voter, and it has 2 little stickers, one on each side, and off it goes. And those need to be mailed by May 12th. So I have packets in the back, fun-filled drink table in the blue basket. You can, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. They're packets of 20, and you can take them home and just mail them by the 12th. So yeah, do you have any questions now, or you can see me later? Does anyone have any questions? You're all good? Okay, excellent. And next slide, please. Okay, Central Valley Matters. Now, a lot of you folks may be very familiar with Central Valley Matters, and some may not be. But Central Valley Matters is a great organization that supports 6 very important grassroots organizations in CD 22. So why is CD 22 important? It's because it's one of the most contested races in the Congress. And we're trying to flip it. So we oust Valadeo and get a Democrat in right now. Popular one is Randy Villegas. A lot of people love Randy. He's young. He's a professor. He's lived in the Valley all his life. So besides supporting him, we want to support grassroots organizations that support people in the Valley. So CD 22 was an ICE test case even before Minnesota. So they have always been targeted, all the people that are farm workers, and they have prisons there. They have a lot of very marginalized people. So that's why it's very important to try to support them. The Latino vote is leaning more positive toward Democrats in that district. And the farmers are up in arms. It's a big farming community because fertilizers and costs of farming are going up. So maybe even the farmers can split in that district. So please support Central Valley Matters. There's a link to either donate and or please try and attend the Zoom event on April 28th. Dolores Huerta will be the special guest speaker on Zoom, as well as the grassroots organizations. So, please try to support them. Thank you.
Okay, because we have a lot of things to talk about in chronological order here. Starting this Saturday, we're going to be back again at the Campbell Farmers Market. Thank you to many of you who volunteered there in the past. We are going to be trying to talk up the California governor's race, make sure people are registered, that they know to check their registration. So we still need some extra volunteers. We're going to be there every Sunday until May 31st, right before the election. If you think you can help, we ask you to do a 2.5-hour shift. And just see me and I can send you the details or chat you through it this evening.
Lisa, is it scary?
It is not scary.
What might happen at the table if you haven't volunteered in this capacity before?
Here in the past, it is really friendly conversations. We are not pushy and obnoxious. We're not tripping salespeople. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Wanda. We're not like horrible insurance salespeople. Apologies to anyone who sells insurance. About, trying to trip them up and stop them from doing their shopping. But put up some great posters, as you can see, some good signage. And lots of people stop in and say, what's this about? Or I really want to get involved. How can I help? So we sign up potential new members. We have information on Swing Left and OCI. And as I say, we will try to inform them about what's going on with the governor's race, because as many of you know from family and friends, there are a lot of people who do not get that this is not a Republican primary and a Democratic primary. This is a top 2 primary, and we are at risk of having Republicans in the top 2. So we really want to raise awareness about that and make sure people do not, shrug the primary and not vote. And there are some other important measures at other local races as well. People it's very easy. We will train you on your own, and we have some lovely conversations. And many of the people in this room are people we met at the farmers market for the first time. So come and see what it's all about. If you don't like it, we will let you not sign up again, but we get lots of people who join us consistently. So it's a really friendly environment. And after, go get a cup of coffee from Mara's daughter. You can, get some dumplings or pizzas or, great produce. So, yeah, give it a try, please. Okay, sorry, I know you're in a hurry. Next slide is our next meeting will be on Monday, April 27th. This is a very exciting meeting for us. We are having a panel with young voters. For many of us who've been doing it for many years, we've been really frustrated about why we can't get young people to turn up and vote. And it could not be more important than this year and 2028. So we have located 4 high school and college students, 2 of each, And we have invited a professor from San Jose State University to teach poli-sci there and also oversees the Young Democrats and the Young Republicans on campus. And so she's going to talk to us about her experience in engaging with students as well as, being the advisor to these groups. And then we're gonna, have a conversation with the young voters. So this is a really important program and we hope you'll join us. Next slide, please. As Celeste mentioned, we're all in on the May Day event. We will be tabling there for and OCI. So if you think you can help us for an hour or two, either at the beginning of the program at 2:00 or at the City Hall Plaza, please check in with Paul Bayon and he'll figure out where to plug you in, and we really appreciate your help. We think there's going to be a great turnout this year at making this a really big event, so we'd use some extra hands. Next slide, please, is next on the calendar. We will be canvassing in Los Banos. This is part of the Swing Left Ground Youth canvassing program. This is about listening, talking, and learning about what issues are greatest concern to people in the Central Valley. This is the group that joined us this weekend. We had 27 people canvassing. A great now, and we had a great day. Many of us taco on our way out of town, and the chance to debrief and decompress with each other. So again, this is not scary. This is really, we will not send you out alone or on your own. We will always pair first timers with an experienced canvasser. We had some really great conversations and some really meaningful conversations. So I hope you'll consider giving it a try. And we carpool, so if you like to, we'll find you a lift back and forth. And next slide is our May meeting. So our May meeting, fourth Monday of the month, would be on Memorial Day, which we figured most people are not too excited about coming to a meeting and as opposed to going to a barbecue or having a nice gathering with friends and family. So we're moving our meeting up by 1 week. It'll be on the third Monday of the month on May 18th. And because unfortunately the sanctuary is booked that night, we have moved to the Campbell Community Center in what's called the Roosevelt Redwood Group. We will send you all the details on that, but please change your calendars. We'd love to see you. We will do a final review of the primary ballot on that night. We'll talk about some of the issues that we're going to touch on here tonight, date on what's going on with the governor's race. And we have lots of other things to cover that evening. So hope you can make it. And just a reminder, we have a Linktree site. Everything we talk about is on there. If you haven't used Linktree, see one of us here tonight. We'll show you how it works. It's really simple and it's a great resource to go to when you're thinking, okay, so let's just talk about the lack of.
Yep.
I want to do more, and it's like a menu. Go choose the things that are great to you and see available. So please take a look, and I think that's the last slide.
It is.
It is. Okay. Thank you. Sorry that ran so long.
Here, Lisa.
Is this the spot?
That's the spot.
This is the spot. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Celeste. So very easy call to action for everybody is that this has not come out yet, but we're expecting a congressional bill that will give complete immunity to big oil. Seriously? Oh, exactly. We're expecting it to come out. It has not come out yet. Please sign up with this QR code or on the OCI Linktree to tell your congressional representatives and senators that we are against that. It's like, really, what the heck? Okay, next slide, please. So here in San Jose, on the day of Earth Day, there's going to be a scorched earth press conference and rally at San Jose City Hall.
That's gonna be at 11:30, probably for about a noon until 12:30, so the rally will be at 12. Because we have a lot of downtown folks in the downtown area who work there, tell us they can make it there easily noon events. So I truly hope to see you there. This is by the Solidarity Unity Network and Human Agenda, big coalition there, which both OCI, South Bay, Spring Lebanon are part of. Thank you so much. Next slide as I wrap up. And then with our youth in Palo Alto on the Friday of Earth Day week, month, whatever you want to call it, right? It's a great time to educate people about climate. Act like you live here, right? We do live here and there is there is no planet B. So the youth in Palo Alto are organizing a rally for AI regulation climate over code. That will be in front of Palo Alto City Hall with lots of youth, tabling again with the big coalition, 350 Silicon Valley, and many, many other people. Hope to see you there. Thank you so much.
All right.
Happy Earth Day, Happy Earth Month, Happy Earth Week. Organize like you live here. Thank you so much.
And happy 96th birthday to Dolores Huerta.
Yeah, on Friday.
Another champion of the Bay Area. All right, Mary Ann. Come on down. Let's give a warm welcome to our LGBTQIA plus leader. Yep, yeah. Yep.
Okay, thank you guys. Some good news, the American Medical Association did come out saying they do support gender affirming care for trans youth, which are very nice. They believe this is evidence-based healthcare. They're also opposed to any bills or policies that prevent trans from any basic human rights, like using the bathroom. And they also oppose the use of conversion therapy, which I actually was ahead of myself, but I sent this last week, but week before last, you guys heard what the Supreme Court did with the ban on conversion therapy. So the American Medical Association does not support that. So that was our good news. And this is in contrast to what I think it was the American plastic surgeons had said something opposite. So that's why they came out with this statement again. Some things that we have to be concerned about is the Olympics. So they did pass a ban for the Olympics for 2028 that there will now be mandatory genetic screening for all just female athletes starting in 2028. And this will prevent a lot of people who are not necessarily trans, but it could prevent people who have extra, women who have extra testosterone, and people who have different markers. They actually did this before. They abolished it in 1999, but it's coming back. They did abolish it because in some cases, people tested and they didn't even realize this. They had like lived their whole lives. Sometimes with this one case, they had to actually go back to their country where they felt like they would be there'd be a threat to themselves, and someone actually killed themselves because of this. So it was a bad policy, but it's back. And the other thing they did mention that is that it's back for all sports, right? So even sports that shouldn't have like a advantage, like rifle shooting, or and actually, even though there's really been no study that shows that trans women who've been on hormone therapy for more than 2 years have any kind of physical advantage, they're doing this anyway. So that is unfortunate, and that is happening. And my call to action, I know there's so many, as Celeste gave us, so many issues. You know, we all know that we're all like, call. But if you get a chance, and you can also call the Equality Caucus in the House did reintroduce the Transgender Bill of Rights. And I just like, so a fact here is I looked up on the 5 call apps, and if I'm doing my math correctly, They had like almost 13 million calls for all these different issues. All of the ICE and, all these issues that we have to deal with. But for the trans issues, they were really, really small. It was like less than 1%. So it's like 9,000 calls out of like 13 million. So I know there's a lot of things that we have to worry about and they're all important, but if maybe on the 5th call you make, you could do one for the trans community, that would be awesome as well. So that is all I have.
Thank you, Marianne. All right, Tracy or Clarice? Oh, here comes Clarice. Give Clarice a warm welcome. She's coming to talk to you about Coffee Connection. No, you're fine.
Okay, Coffee Connection's going along. We're having a good time. We would invite all of you to come down and join us. It's just a good, feel-good time where you can just talk about whatever. You don't have to, it's not always politics, but you can feel kind of safe because we're all feeling the same way. So we'll invite you down and look forward to seeing you, okay? Take care. It's the first Saturday of every month. We will send out a thingy, whatever those thingies are that we send out. We'll send out announcements, all the particulars, okay? Take care.
Thank you, Tom Shaw. Come on down.
If you'd like to visit businesses in the area to help them prepare for the eventuality that ICE agents may come to their businesses to kidnap their workers, you can help them by canvassing. We have a training coming up on Thursday at 9:30 a.m. From 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. The training will be conducted by Working Partnerships. And we'll talk about how workers and businesses can use constitutional rights to protect themselves in the event that ICE comes to the business. Things like putting up signs on employee rooms to keep ICE out of those rooms. Distributing the RRN cards so that people can call RRN if they see ICE. And how to distinguish between the real warrant and the fake warrant that ICE uses. So any questions?
Thank you. All right. Mara. Give Mara a warm welcome too. Give everyone a warm welcome.
Hi, everyone. Normally I'm back there helping check you guys in and I don't ever have any asks for our community. I'm just here to be of assistance. But today I come with an ask. This lovely woman on the screen here, her name is Paris. She is a neighbor of mine. And unfortunately, a couple of weeks ago, her life was cut short because her spouse shot her in the living room of their townhome. I'm in communication with her mother and her family, and they're trying to find resources to be able to move some big items out of her townhome. And I've contracted with a hauling company. The cost is about $500 to $700, depending on how much stuff they're needing to move out. And I just wanted to reach out and see if anyone would be able to help the family by some kind of financial donation. If possible, I'm happy to share my Venmo. I'll take cash, I'll take checks. Everything that comes in to me will go directly towards paying for the stuff to get moved out of their apartment and just be able to help the family out some. So she was a bright, smiley face and always waved at me when we walked by each other in the neighborhood. And I'd just like to try to be able to do something nice for her family. So that's my answer.
Can we do at OCI leadership team, can I make a motion to donate $200 to start the donations for her family? Okay, approved. So we'll start with $200. If anyone in the room is able to donate to help her family, we'd like to help them move without stress. Mr. John Comiskey, make your way to the front of the room, give him a warm welcome.
Thank you. I'm John Kaminsky. Amongst other things, I'm the communications director for the Santa Clara County Democratic Party. And this Thursday, I have the last of my spring sessions for communications for candidates. And it's very basic information for people who have never run for office before, or who maybe run once and were not successful. Or anybody that's curious, wants to work on a campaign, wants to volunteer for a campaign. It can be useful information to get a campaign started and up and running. It's Thursday at 7 p.m. It's the last one in the spring series. There'll be 3 more in June, July, and August. I'm working on the dates right now, but when I have them, you'll see them right up here. Please do sign up. The QR code that's here is also on the dessert table in the back. Please sign up, or you can just drop in. If you're already signed up and there's someone who wants to come with you, walk-ins are always welcome. So thanks.
Carol, come on down.
This is Lauren Babb Tomlinson. And Lauren is running for California State Rep in CA6, which is in the Sacramento, Roseville area. It's a redistricted area, so we can easily, based on the geography, switch it from red to blue. I've known Lauren for years. She's an amazing, energetic, smart leader. She understands what policy is about. She understands how laws affect our everyday lives. County Supervisor Susan Ellenberg, Representative Patrick Aherns, and I are hosting an event on April 26th from 10 to noon. We'd like you to come. It's held in the Rose Garden area. So if you'd like the QR code, I have it here, or it's not there. So come and see me for the QR code and you can get information on the event itself and sign up. So please join us. We'll have goodies and coffee and all that good stuff. Thank you.
And if you send me the QR code, I'll put it on the link tree. I'll add it to the link tree as well. All right, Catherine, come on down. You're going to talk to us a little bit about Measure D. Everyone get hyped for Measure D.
Yeah, after all this governor stuff for you, like you don't even know what to do. This is a very easy yes vote. Okay, so basically Measure D is the open space authority for Town Valley.
Hold it like straight out from your face.
Straight out.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, open space authority has not had any increased income since 2013. 2014, excuse me. The amount of protected land has increased threefold. So it went from 10,000 to 30,000 acres. And more land is needed still to protect these wildlife corridors going through the Coyote Valley. Okay, and they want to use, they need the extra money for managing the land, protecting us from wildfires, adding new trails, and the watershed. It's a grassroots led initiative. It's a non-regressive parcel tax, which means the average homeowner, like most of us here, pay probably around $32 a year. Whereas, you know, Cisco or somebody pay up to I think 7,500. Seniors and low income people can opt out of the tax of the parcel. Open Space Authority has been very transparent in how they spend their money. They're a great group. They also give grants to urban area, like vegetation and things like that inside the county. And so I encourage you, with all this bad going on, this is something that is like, we can leave as a legacy for our children and our children's children to have these protected, something good that they can say about us after everything has been so messed up around here, that we did something good for them. They have a place to go. The animals can go through. They have a place they can ride their bikes. And I encourage you, please, to vote on some Measure D. I have sign back. I also have flyers if you want more information. And if you want to help spreading the word, let me know. Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Oliver, are you online? Okay, I'm gonna move to Sean. I know you were online and thank you for participating. I'm gonna stop our share so everyone can see your face. We have a candidate joining us. Sean, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you, Celeste, and
Awesome.
good to see you all here tonight. I wish I was there in person with you. My name is Sean Frame. I'm running for State Senate District 6 here in eastern Sacramento County, western Placer County. Not to be confused with Congressional 6, where Lauren Babb Tomlinson is running, though we do share a lot of the same territory. I'm actually from your area. I grew up in the West Valley. I went to Prospect High School and San Jose State University, and so I have a strong connection there. My sister and my dad still live in the area down there, and so thank you for having me here tonight. I'm sure you're wondering, why is this district important to folks in the Silicon Valley? Why are you reaching out to us tonight? And the answer is really a couple of things. First of all, it's that Senate District 6 is the most flippable district in the state. It's currently represented by Republican Roger Nilo. It is a Republican +1 district. And we feel like this cycle is the time that we could actually take the seat from a Republican who's been a corrosive force in our local politics and, of course, in our statewide politics for quite some time. He's a guy that doesn't even believe that climate change is human caused. He's against LGBTQ rights. He's completely out of touch with the values of California. And this is the time we can get rid of him in the state Senate. But more importantly than that, for both our state and our nation, is that two of the districts that were redrawn in Prop 50 cross this district. One was Congressional District 6, we were talking about earlier, and the other is Congressional District 3, currently represented by Kevin Kiley, who just switched to be an independent and is now running in Congressional District 6. We have the opportunity to get rid of him, and by collaborating in this region, we're going to be able to make that change this cycle, and actually turn this entire region from a purple region to a probably strong blue region in one election cycle. Right now, for me, if you want to know more about me, you can go to my website, which is my name, SeanFrame.com. I'm endorsed by the California Federation of Labor, AFL-CIO, Working Parties California, Working Families Party, excuse me, and many labor unions, elected officials like Mike Thompson, who's member of the House of Representatives, as well as Sally Lieber, the chair of the State Board of Equalization, and so many more. The reporting deadline is coming up. I hope to earn your support, and I hope to come see y'all sometime in the near future so I can get to know you better. Thank you for having me tonight.
Thanks, Sean.
Sean, Mimi here, I'm off camera, so you could be a key vote for CalCare here in California, which we so desperately need. Thank you
Yes.
for being here tonight.
I'm a CalCare champion and have been for years, so thank you.
Awesome.
So glad to hear that. Hope to see you here
Yes.
soon. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my screen share. This might be the end of my slides. Oops. It is. So I'm going to go back to our slide. Now I'm going to open it up. We have 8 minutes to get through the rest of the speakers. And if I didn't say it already, if you are a candidate and you want to come to our candidate open house in May, it's really fun. I hope our two candidates who are about to speak will join us so we can learn more about you then.
Thank you. I'm Derek Grasty, progressive candidate for governor of California, and complete support Lauren and Shati. You don't see my name on any of the polls, and that's by design. The media is very compromised. There are Republican-led polls. In fact, those are the people that propped up Swallow. We need a real progressive Democrat to support, and I'm that candidate. I believe in clean energy. In fact, when we look at our gas prices, I was just at the pump today, is incredible. And of course, Trump and his billionaire friends and others are making money hand over fist at our expense. There's no shortage or even odd days for gas like in the 70s. There's plenty of gas. They're just making profit. What we need is renewable energy that's war-proof. We need wind, geothermal, and solar, including high-powered cars. The sun is free. Let's use it. Also, with regards to my viability, I have no skeletons in my closet. I'm a family man, been married 41 years. I have 2 sons who are attorneys. Please look at my website, grassleyforgovernor.com. And if you believe in my progressive agenda, consider me. Vote for Derek Grassley, Governor of California. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Gordon Chester. I am a candidate for San Jose City Council in District 9, just on the other side of the Campbell border here. Time's limited, so I'm gonna go quick. And I know many of you have seen me before, but I have an event that's coming up on Saturday. We are canvassing with the Young Democrats. I have their sole endorsement, which is why they're coming out to knock on doors with me, and I welcome everybody here to do so. It will be at Basket Vehicles on the Meridian and Hilldale location at 10 a.m. Be great to have you out there to add to the group. In addition, I would really appreciate all your support that you can offer. We'll have more events, so please go to my website, Gordon Ward E9, to check out more events if you're not available this Saturday. And in addition to that, I'd like to also urge you to donate to my campaign, because right now I'm the one hitting the most doors, which also means I know how many no soliciting signs there are. That also means that I can't reach them without your help. So if you have 10, 20, $50 to be able to spare tonight, it would go a long way to get on those little square rectangle devices you have in your pockets, making sure that we can get in behind those no soliciting signs and all the doors that are people that are either at home or at the park, at work, not able to open their door for me, because we need to make sure that everybody sees my name, because my competitors, they're trying to buy this election just by having name recognition to throw their signs anywhere they can. And although we have signs and we have a lot of support, we need even more. Right now, I'm the sole endorsed candidate by the Santa Clara County Democratic Party, the Working Families Party, South Bay Progressive Alliance, and not to mention Ash Cara has also endorsed me as well. So if you need a candidate that is going to be able to fight for working people, to be able to fight for, to stop the stagnation, fight for all of us, then please join me in my campaign. Again, Gordon4D9.com. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hi. I didn't even recognize you.
I love Heidi, I'm an alcoholic. Wrong meeting. Heidi Owens, Town Council. There are 3 seats open. One is for Rob Moore, who's expected to run, and then the second is Mary Badami, who we don't know if she'll ever run. And then the third is open. It's Rob Moore is running, and then Rob Rennie's seat, he's not running. So he's endorsed my campaign for Los Gatos Town Council, as has Art Lowe and Jim Bell, our good friends. But there is another person who filed to run, who is a Trump supporter. His name is Rob Stump, and he likes him. So we're trying really hard to beat him for that 3rd seat. This group has been so generous. I am really, really grateful to some of the folks in this room for financial contributions, and even coming up and saying, I'll canvas for you. My campaign doesn't need money at this exact moment. We're early, but I could really use help just getting a name for the canvassing list. So either to drop off signs or to go knock on doors when we start doing that. There's no primary. So we're really looking for volunteers to sign up. I don't have a website yet, but that will be up soon. But just give me your number and I'll add you to the list. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm Heidi Owens.
Heidi Owens, Los Gatos Town Council. Okay, we did it. We have 2 minutes to spare. One thing that I wrote this list for myself because I knew I was going to forget something. We didn't give a shout out to Hungary for taking that. Let's end on that good note. I saw something really cool that it's almost impossible to fake the results of an election when it's a landslide like they just had in Hungary. So let's set our sights on that. Let's set our hopes on that. It is possible we can do this. We will see you back here in this room in 2 weeks and then again in a month for our next OCI meeting. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to those of you that helped build whistle kits. If you have a little free library in your neighborhood or know of a shop or an organization that would like some whistle kits for that to hand out to community members, you can see Mara in the back. We have thousands of them to give away. So we're going to keep making those every week. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week. Do some self-care. It's a lot. Level up on that ladder. I will collect those postcards. Yes, if you did your fast food worker postcard, you can bring it up here. We will make sure they get stamped and sent to the supervisors. If you want to give Mara money, Mara, what are we at? We did it. $560 fundraised in that 10 minutes. If you'd like to give Mara some more to help the family of the woman that was murdered by her partner. But it looks like we got the moving covered. So thank you for your support on that. Yes. Yeah. I will do. Yeah. A little bit down. I want you to know, I have a queer kid. My youngest one is queer. He's got a trans partner, and have been have like more friends. So I appreciate you. Thank you. You're a huge role model to me as a mom. Like, oh my God. So yeah. You just give so much love. Give it hope. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Nice meeting, Celeste.
Thank you.
Always.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Is your address on there? Part. Oh, down.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Betty is there.
Oh,
Thank you.
So inspiring.
Thank you.
I'll just speak for your lady.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
I don't know, but it's Betty, but it's good, it's Betty's good.
Hi. I fiddled with it for a while, but I'm gonna try and get it in or okay. It may be in the closet, but it may be upstairs. Maybe. Okay, okay. Thank you. Mara is back at that round table. Yeah, good question. Hi. Can you come on May 11th or have staff come?
I will ask.
Someone to table for you?
Yeah, I'll also most likely be here for the swing left for the young voters panel too. But I didn't need to ask you because I don't have your number and I don't have Ashley's number either. I've been in the past to ask him to donate to the campaign if that's
yeah.
possible,
Yeah.
but I didn't have any other way to get there.
They're in your back. Oh, I simplified.
There you go.
And I'm next to you. I don't have options number one.
Thank you, Slug. Have a good night, okay?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. You have someone who can do a table for David? What? You have someone that can do a table for David? I do not. I haven't heard much about him yet. Lamb, do you know anything about the guy who's running against Rosen?
Yeah, it sucks. It's terrible.
That's worse than Rosen?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Daniel Chung is one of the worst people I've ever met. I'm saying something to the
Hello.
And yeah.
Out there. Okay. And I don't somebody here.
I want to go to any one.
Okay, in this bathroom right here. Our members don't even know where that one is anymore, so I would be very surprised if it's ours. Thank you for checking. I will come find you if someone comes asking for it. But I doubt it.
But I will tell you now that he is one of the slightest. And like I said, remember what profession I'm in.
Oh, okay. Someone did find it in the bathroom?
Yeah.
In the room. Last